Latin. This is the church that most people in the Western world are familiar with. Headed directly by the Pope, the Bishop of Rome, it is by far the largest, comprising over 1.2 billion members, or 98% of all Catholics. Its spiritual and legal traditions are those that developed in the Western Roman Empire. Its most common liturgy is the Roman Rite, the Mass celebrated worldwide. While it is just one of the 24 self-governing churches, its immense size, and the fact that the Pope is its direct leader, gives it a unique and primary place in the Catholic communion. Coptic. Based in Egypt, and with a history tracing back to St. Mark the Evangelist, this church is the Catholic counterpart to the much larger Coptic Orthodox Church. Its members are a small but ancient Christian community in a majority Muslim country. They preserve one of the oldest liturgical traditions in the world, characterized by its unique chanting and historical use of the Coptic language. The head of this church is the Coptic Catholic Patriarch of Alexandria. Ethiopian. Centered in Ethiopia, this church follows the ancient and unique Ge'ez liturgy, a tradition it shares with its Orthodox counterpart. It is known for its deep integration with traditional Ethiopian culture, which can include the use of ceremonial chant, drumming, and a distinct liturgical calendar that differs from the rest of the Catholic world. It represents one of the oldest Christian civilizations, with roots stretching back to the 4th century. Eritrean. One of the newest self-governing churches, the Eritrean Catholic Church was officially established by Pope Francis in 2015 for the Catholic community in Eritrea. Like the Ethiopian Church, it uses the ancient Ge'ez liturgy, reflecting a shared cultural heritage. Its creation as an independent church mirrors the political separation of Eritrea from Ethiopia, allowing its members to have their own distinct hierarchical structure. Maronite. This is one of the largest and most influential Eastern Catholic churches, with its heartland in the mountains of Lebanon. The Maronite Church is unique in that it has no Orthodox counterpart. Its entire community has affirmed its communion with the Pope for centuries. Its beautiful liturgy is based on the ancient tradition of Antioch and uses Syriac, a dialect of the Aramaic language that Jesus himself spoke, making its prayers a powerful link to the very origins of the faith. Syriac. With its patriarchate based in Beirut, Lebanon, this church represents the Catholic branch of the ancient Syriac Christian tradition of Antioch. It shares a common heritage with the Syriac Orthodox Church and has a significant diaspora, with communities of faithful throughout the Middle East and the wider world. It is a church that has endured immense hardship and persecution throughout its long history, particularly in Iraq and Syria. Syro-Malankara. This is one of the major Christian communities in Kerala, India, whose members are known as St. Thomas Christians, as they trace their faith back to the missionary work of St. Thomas the Apostle. This particular church rejoined full communion with Rome in the 20th century, led by their bishop Mar Ivanios. They brought with them their ancient West Syriac liturgical traditions, which are distinct from the other St. Thomas Christian groups in India. Armenian. The Catholic counterpart to the much larger Armenian Apostolic Church, this church is associated with the first nation in history to adopt Christianity as its state religion in the year 301. It is a single, self-governing church with its own unique rite. Its liturgy is one of the most formal and ceremonial in all of Christendom, known for its beautiful and complex choral music. The church's leader holds the title of Catholicos Patriarch of Cilicia and resides in Beirut, Lebanon. Chaldean. Centered in Baghdad, Iraq, the Chaldean Catholic Church is the Catholic branch of the ancient Church of the East, representing the Christian tradition of Mesopotamia. It is one of the largest Christian denominations in the Middle East and has a large diaspora in countries like the United States. Its community has faced immense persecution throughout history, especially in the 21st century, but continues to preserve its ancient East Syriac liturgy and traditions. Syro-Malabar. This is the second largest Eastern Catholic Church in the world, with over 4 million members. It is another major community of St. Thomas Christians in Kerala, India, with a rich and unique history that has been shaped by its Indian context. While it uses an ancient liturgy influenced by the East Syriac traditions of the Persian Empire, its customs and identity are deeply integrated with the culture of Kerala. Ukrainian Greek. With several million members, this is the largest of all the 23 Eastern Catholic churches. It is a powerful symbol of Ukrainian national identity and has a history of severe persecution, having been outlawed and driven underground by the Soviet Union. Since Ukraine's independence in 1991, the church has experienced a strong and vibrant revival both in Ukraine and in its large diaspora in North and South America. Its leader is the major Archbishop of Kyiv-Halich. Melkite Greek. This church originated among the Christians of the Middle East, primarily in Syria and Lebanon. Its name comes from the Syriac word for royalist, as its community remained loyal to the Byzantine emperor after a major schism in the 5th century. It is known for its use of both Greek and Arabic in its liturgy, and for its significant role in theological dialogue between the Eastern and Western traditions. Its leader is the Patriarch of Antioch. Ruthenian Greek. Also known as the Byzantine Catholic Church in America, this church has its roots in the Carpathian Mountains of Central Europe, in a region that has been part of various empires. Many of its members are descendants of Russian immigrants who came to the United States in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. It is a distinct church that has preserved the Slavic traditions of its homeland. Romanian Greek. The Catholic counterpart to the Romanian Orthodox Church, this church has a long history in the region of Transylvania. Like the Ukrainian Church, it was severely persecuted and forcibly reunited with the Orthodox Church by the communist government after World War II. Since the fall of communism in 1989, it has been in a process of revival, working to rebuild its communities and reclaim its confiscated properties. Greek Byzantine. This is a very small community of Catholics in Greece and Turkey who worship using the Byzantine Rite. They are a tiny religious minority in a country that is overwhelmingly Eastern Orthodox. This church was established to serve the small number of Greek intellectuals and families who chose to enter into communion with Rome while retaining their native Byzantine liturgical traditions. Slovak Greek. This is the Byzantine Rite Church for Catholics in Slovakia. It has a significant presence in the eastern part of the country, where the Byzantine tradition has deep historical roots. The church also has a large diaspora in North America, particularly in Canada, where it serves the descendants of Slovak immigrants who have maintained their Eastern Catholic faith. Hungarian Greek. This is the Byzantine Rite Church for the Catholic community in Hungary. It celebrates the Byzantine Rite in the Hungarian language. This has given it a distinct identity, deeply integrated with the national culture of Hungary. Italo-Albanian. A very ancient and unique church found in several dioceses in southern Italy and Sicily. It has no Orthodox counterpart and is comprised of descendants of Albanians who fled to Italy after the Ottoman conquest of the Balkans in the 15th century. They have remarkably preserved their distinct Byzantine traditions, liturgy, and identity for over 500 years while living in the heart of the Latin Rite. Byzantine Croatia and Serbia. This church serves the Byzantine Rite Catholics living in the countries of the former Yugoslavia. It is a small but historically significant community that has long existed at the crossroads of the Eastern and Western Christian worlds. Its history is a complex story of identity, shaped by the shifting borders of the Austro-Hungarian and Ottoman empires. Albanian Greek, the Byzantine Rite community within Albania. It is an extremely small church that was nearly wiped out during the country's brutally atheistic communist regime, which outlawed all religion. After the fall of communism, this small community has been slowly and carefully working to re-establish its presence and rebuild its parishes. Belarusian Greek. Another very small community of Byzantine Rite Catholics that was almost completely destroyed, first under the Russian Empire and then under the Soviet Union, which forcibly liquidated it. For many years, it existed only in the diaspora. Today, there is a small but growing revival of the church within Belarus itself, a powerful symbol of religious and cultural resilience. Russian Greek. This church was created in the early 20th century for Russian converts from Orthodoxy, who wished to retain their native liturgical traditions while being in communion with Rome. It was also severely persecuted and effectively destroyed by the Soviet government. Today, it exists in very small numbers, primarily in diaspora communities outside of Russia. Macedonian Greek. One of the newest Eastern Catholic churches, it was elevated to a self-governing church by Pope Francis in 2018. It serves the small Byzantine Rite community in the nation of North Macedonia, giving them their own distinct hierarchical structure separate from the other Byzantine churches in the Balkans. Bulgarian Greek, a very small community of Byzantine Rite Catholics in Bulgaria, a country that is predominantly Eastern Orthodox. The church has a long and complex history, having been established in the 19th century during a period of Bulgarian national awakening and complex relations between the Bulgarian people, the Ottoman Empire, the Ecumenical Patriarchate, and the Vatican. Thanks for watching. Did any of these traditions surprise you or change how you think about the Catholic Church as a whole? Let me know in the comments down below. Please also remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.